Hello everyone, I Milan Singh welcome you to this lecture, and today I will be discussing with you ancient history of Chhattisgarh. Before we begin, I would like to tell you that we here at Purvanchal IAS are providing you full CGPSC course with Chhattisgarh Special. All you need to do is go to Google Play Store, download an app with the name Purvanchal IAS, and then you will find a number of courses along with CGPSC. We have UPSC, MPPSC, UPPSC, different subjects from NCERT complete courses and other courses also like Science and Technology, Polity Governance, Ethics, Social Issues, International Relations and Internal Security, and many more. You can choose the subject as per your requirement. Now students, talking about ancient history, I am sure you people are aware that the historians have divided history into three periods in order to understand the time and scenario of that particular period, and this division came to be as ancient history, medieval history, and then modern history. Now today, I am going to focus specifically on Chhattisgarh and ancient history of Chhattisgarh. What was like Chhattisgarh in those ancient times? We will be discussing that. This is not only important from CGPSC point of view, but it is also important if you are preparing for any other exams conducted by Chhattisgarh government. Now, when we talk about ancient history, it starts somewhere from prehistoric age. Now the question arises, why is it called as prehistoric? See, the simple reason to it is that prehistoric age is an age where we do not find any written evidences. What we have is just the archaeological evidences like weapons, seal, potteries, burial, etc. So we do not have any written evidence of what was this particular time like and what the people used to do, and that is why it is known as prehistoric era. There is one more thing, that during that time we have come to know through this evidences or archaeological sources that people used to use stone as their tools during this age, and hence this age is also known as Stone Age, right? This further Stone Age, or you can say prehistoric, is divided into four stages. Early Stone Age, which is also known as Paleolithic Stone Age, Middle Stone Age or Mesolithic, Later Stone Age, and then a New Stone Age or say Neolithic Stone Age. See, what we need to understand in this prehistoric era is that from where do we get evidences in Chhattisgarh regarding this early Stone Age? I would remind that I am just specially bringing you this CGPSC course with Chhattisgarh Special, and that is why this history is also of only Chhattisgarh. Now the question is, from where do we find the evidence of this early Stone Age or say Paleolithic Age? We find it from Sighanpur Cave and Botalda. This Sighanpur Cave and Botalda both are in the Raigad district of Chhattisgarh. And there we have found stone scrapers and rock paintings of this era, which tell us that people of Paleolithic age used to live in this cave. See, people of those age did not have any houses to live. They did not build any houses. Rather, caves used to be their house, and they generally were located near the rivers so that they can take help of the water from there, and then caves can provide them shelter during the rainfall and sunlight and all. So this is how they used to stay in their life, and then they used to practice hunting and all. So for hunting they used to use weapons made with stone. Okay, so this is Paleolithic, and we find the evidence from Sighanpur Cave, Botalda, and we also find it from some of the other places. All the places mainly are located in Raigad. Mahanadi Valley, we do get the evidences from Mahanadi Valley. We have Kabra Pahad, this Kabra Hill, we get it evidences from Paleolithic age also in the Kabra Hills. We also have Son Barsa, Gidha. So mainly the Raigad district, this Raigad district, which is located in the eastern side of the state, we get the evidences of Stone Age. From Middle Stone Age or Mesolithic, this meso means small. Why we call it meso? Because during this time we saw that people have started using small stone tools. Here what happened? That they used to make tools which are bigger. The weapons were bigger in size, but then gradually when the Mesolithic age came, we realized, or we came to know through the archaeological sources, that during this time small stone started being used, and that is why it is known as Mesolithic. One important thing for you people to remember is we got the portrait of a red colored lizard in Cabra Hill. Why is this important? Because it shows us that they used red color in their painting. Okay, so red was the color used, and there is a lizard being painted in the Cabra Hill. So this becomes important for you to remember. We also have founded alligator, axes, etc. made of stones. So that is something that we have found from the Mesolithic age. Now please remember that one more thing for you to remember is that apart from Cabra Hills, we also have got the evidences of Mesolithic age from Bastar region. From where? From Bastar region. Places like Garh Ghanora, Ghar Chandela, Ghar Lohara, all of these are located in the Bastar division, that is the southern Chhattisgarh. So there also you get the evidences of Middle or Mesolithic age. Then came the later Stone Age after Mesolithic, and we see it in Dhanpur, which is in Goralla Pendra Marwahi. I hope you people are aware that this Goralla Pendra Marwahi is the recently made district. It is 28th district of Chhattisgarh, the mother district being Bilaspur. So earlier this Dhanpur was located in Bilaspur, but now since there is a new district made, we say that now this is in Goralla Pendra Marwahi. And Mahanadi Valley, of course. See, Mahanadi Valley and Raigad, you get the evidences of all of these ages. You have to remember. Now the important thing here is that we get the depiction of human shape. That means the people of later Stone Age became little more advanced, and now they have started depicting the human shape. They also started domestication of animal. Apart from hunting and all, they have started settling down at some places, and domestication of animal to a large extent started from here. Little bit of agriculture also started from this particular age. Then we have Neolithic or Neo Stone Age. We get punched tool potteries from this particular area or this particular age. And in Chhattisgarh, from where have we got this is Arjuni, Durg, Chitwa Dongri is in Rajnandgaon. Where it is in Rajnandgaon. Okay, and this Teram is in Raigad. So please, where do you find the evidences of Paleolithic? So this is all about the evidences of Stone Age in Chhattisgarh. Now, the questions are asked in such a manner like they can ask you from where do you get the evidences of a Paleolithic age. The question can be later wise like from where do you get to see the portrait of red lizard, etc. Or Arjuni Durg shows you the era of which age, etc. could be a question from this particular area. Now see, there are some more important facts which you should know in the Stone Age. Like, from where did you found the rock paintings? I told you earlier also that for this age we do not have any written evidences. All we have is archaeological sources. We have stone, we have paintings, we have pottery, we have seals, etc. So rock paintings have been found from places like Karmagarh, Basanjhar, Onga. See, please remember most of these are in the Raigad district. So from where you get the maximum evidences in Chhattisgarh for the Stone Age is this Raigad district. Ancient caves is Sighanpur, Kavra Hill. Longest cave is Botalda. And the first information about Neolithic age has been given by Dr. Ravendranath Mishra and Dr. Bhagwan Singh. Please remember their name because it has been asked a couple of times in the exams. And then came the Iron Age. See, Iron Age and Megalithic age are quite in the same time period. Megalithic is when we got large burials, the dead bodies were buried in larger stones. See, mega means large, so that is why we call it as megalithic, because during that particular age we got to see lot of large burials or dead bodies were buried into larger stones. And at the same time there was Iron Age. copper and iron, this is called. So we have got certain iron tools and iron pots and vessels in Chhattisgarh also from the places like Karhi Badar, Chirchiri, Sorar, Karka Bhata, Gardhanora. These all are the places which gives the evidences. Okay, so you have to remember this. Basically, these are the places of Durg division. When I say division, please remember that Chhattisgarh has 5 divisions: Raipur division, Bilaspur division, Durg division, then there is Korea division, and there is Bastar division. And within the division, you have many districts. So these are the places from Durg division. So now moving ahead. After the Stone Age came the Indus Valley civilization, and after this Indus Valley civilization, which is also known as Harappan civilization, it came as Vedic Age. As far as Indus Valley civilization is concerned, we do not get any evidences of this period in Chhattisgarh. There are no evidences found as such of Harappan civilization in Chhattisgarh. This Vedic period was bifurcated into two. This is later Vedic and early Vedic. Okay, so we do not find any evidences regarding Chhattisgarh in the early Vedic period. In the later Vedic period, we have got one particular thing, that river Narmada was mentioned as Reva river, and the area of Vindhyanchal mountain was also mentioned. So we somehow believe that this is talking about Chhattisgarh, and Reva river is actually the Narmada river of which the talk has been done. So we just say that in the later Vedic period, we do get little evidence, and that too of only Narmada river. Basically in Shatpat Brahman, there is a description of the sea, and there only we have in the Upanishad we have Vindhyanchal being mentioned, and in one of the Vedic literature we have Narmada river being mentioned, right? No other evidences we find about this particular era. So after later Vedic period, we get to see the Ramayana period. Now please remember that during Ramayana period, the Chhattisgarh was known as South Kausal. The name with which Chhattisgarh was known is South Kausal. And there is one thing you need to remember. During this Ramayana period, there was a king in South Kausal named Bhanumat. And Bhanumat has a daughter, Kaushalya. And I am pretty sure you people are aware that Kaushalya was married to Raja Dasharath. And Kaushalya is the mother of Lord Rama. So, when this princess of South Kausal got married to the king of North Kausal, Dasharath, this area automatically became into North and South Kausal. Now it is said that Lord Rama spent most of his 14-year exile period in this region. We get the evidences from hills of Ramgarh, again Raigad district. There are caves of Sita Bengra and Lakshman Bengra which are in the Sarguja district. On the Kishkanda mountain also we find certain evidences, that is the evidence of killing Bali. Kishkanda mountain is in again Sarguja district. And then the empire of Khar and Dushan, they were the brothers of Ravan. So the empire of Khar and Dushan is found from where? From a place known as Kharod, which is in the district of Janjgir, Champa. See here, please take a look of this particular table. It will become easier for you to remember. This is the places from where we do find the evidences of Ramayana period. Please remember one thing, that whenever you are studying history, whether it is ancient, medieval or modern, first thing that you need to remember is the places from where you get the evidences, and second, what evidences have you got. And you also have to remember the timeline, that is the time period during which what happened and then the events that followed. And if you are reading about a dynasty, any of the dynasty, you need to remember the rulers, you have to remember the economical, social, administrative structure of that particular time period of that dynasty, and also the art and culture, and what battle took place between which of the rulers. These are the basic things that you have to study in the subject like history. And there is basically a lot of things where you need to learn, because these are places and you have to remember it. Either you can remember it with the help of mnemonics of your own, or either you can remember it with the help of revision, continuous revision. The more you revise, the more it will sit in your mind. So as far as this Ramayana period is concerned, firstly, we get to see from Sarguja, like I told you, Ramgarh Hill, Sita Bengara, Lakshman Bengara. We usually say that Lord Rama has spent his exile period into these hills and this area of Sarguja district. Then there is Kharod, like I told you, is a place where we get the empire of Khar and Dushan, the brothers of Ravan. Now this Shivri Narayan in Janjgir Chapa is a place where we find Shabri Ashram. You know the character of Shabri in Ramayana. Ram visited this Shabri Ashram, it is being said. In Mahasamund there is Tuturia Ashram, where we have, which is also known as Valmiki Ashram, and this is considered to be the birthplace of love and Kush. Okay, the son of Lord Ram and Sita. They are being born here, it is being said. In Mahasamund we have this ashram. In Dhamtari, in the Sihava mountain, we see the ashram of Saint Shringi. Okay, and we consider, or we get the evidence that Lord Rama visited here as well. In the Bastar district, which is the place at Dandikaranya, we get to see that Lord Rama has spent his year in exile into this period. So basically Chhattisgarh has been a state at that time which is considered to be South Kausal, and Lord Rama is expected to have spent a lot of period of his exile here with Sita and Lakshman. Of this places of Mahabharat period which gives us the evidence in Chhattisgarh are Sirpur. Its ancient name is actually Chitrangatpur. Please remember, this is the ancient name of different places. At times this are being also asked in your examination, that what was the ancient name of this particular place, or with this ancient name belongs to which particular place. So please remember that this Sirpur, which was known as Chitrangatpur at that time, is in the Mahasamund district of Chhattisgarh. And we say that Bhabru Vahan, who was the son of Arjun, it was his capital. Arjun's son Bhabru Vahan has made Sirpur as his capital. Okay, and then Ratanpur, a very important in Chhattisgarh, a place very important which is known as the capital of Kalchuris, and Ratanpur is also known as for many of the things here. It was known as Manipur during that period, in the ancient time during the Mahabharat period. This is located in the Bilaspur district. And it is said that during the Mahabharat period, it was the capital of King Tamradhwaj. Khallari is a place in Mahasamund. Ancient name is Kalavatika. And here we have Lakshagri and Bhimko. Lakshagri, I think you know, in the Mahabharat there was this event of Lakshagri where at one of the place it was burned, where we see that all of the Pandavas were there, and that is known as Lakshagri. So it is being considered that this Lakshagri actually was this place at Kallari in Mahasamund. Then there is this Gunji district. Gunji is in the Janjgir Chapa, and ancient name was Damohdara, and here this Rishabh Dev visited. This Rishabh Dev actually is the Tirthankar of Jain times. So this is a basically evidence of the Jain period that we consider here, because they are actually overlapping. Arang, which was earlier named as Bhinder, the district Raipur, we find that it was the capital of Mordhwaj. Okay, King Mordhwaj has his capital in the Arang. Then Buddhism. See, after the Mahabharat, basically from the end of the Mahabharat period, then it started the time of Buddhism and Jainism, somewhere in the same timeline. A little bit of difference is 6th century AD, and this was also the time of Mahajanpads. You know, there were 16 Mahajanpads in our country. So according to Avdan Shatak, this is a Buddhist scripture. Avdan Shatak is a Buddhist scripture. So it is said that Lord Buddha visited Chhattisgarh, especially this Sirpur in Mahasamund in the 6th century AD. So it is considered that Lord Buddha paid his visit in the Sirpur area of Mahasamund district for some time in the 6th century AD. Okay. One of the Buddhist monk, Prabhu Anand, has constructed what? Swastik Vihar and Anand Kuti Vihar in Sirpur. So please understand that Sirpur is considered to be the pilgrimage site of Buddhism. In Chhattisgarh, Sirpur is the site which is considered as the site for Buddhism. Also please remember a very important fact here, that the Chinese traveler Huensang visited Sirpur and Malhar. Malhar is in Bilaspur district in 639 AD, and you have to remember this 639. Why am I saying is because a lot of times it has been asked in the question in your preliminary exam and other exams of Chhattisgarh state. One of the evidences of Buddhism is found from the Konda Gaon, that is the Bastar division, okay, southern part of Chhattisgarh, Bastar division, and the place was Bhongapal. So this Sirpur and this Bhongapal are basically considered to be the site of Buddhism in Chhattisgarh. Then came Jainism. So please remember, these are the Tirthankaras who visited Chhattisgarh. Now I hope you know that there were 24 Tirthankaras in Jain. The first one being the Rishabh Dev. I told you Rishabh Dev visited Gunji, Janjgir, Chapa. In the Mahabharata period also I have written. The 16th Tirthankara Shantinath visited Bhataguda in Bastar. 23rd Tirthankara Parshvanath visited Nagpura, which is in Durg district. And then 24th Tirthankara Mahavir visited Arang Raipur, and we get the evidences from these places. So you can see that yes, we do have little evidences of these people coming into Chhattisgarh for the Jainism period. Okay. Then is the Mahajanpad. I told you that during the 6th century BC only, it was also the time of Mahajanpads. So in India, there were 16 Mahajanpads at that time. That the name of the 16 Mahajanpads you will obviously study in your Indian history. As far as Chhattisgarh is concerned, Chhattisgarh during that time was included into Chhedi Mahajanpad. There was a Chhedi dynasty, Chhedi Mahajanpad at that time, and Chhattisgarh is considered to be the part of that particular Chhedi Mahajanpad, and the capital of Chhedi Mahajanpad was Suktimati. Okay, and Chhattisgarh in this period was considered to be plateau of Bundelkhand. Okay, and it was known as Chhattisgarh. Please remember, at that time during the Mahajanpad, it was known as Chhattisgarh, and this was considered to be a part of plateau of Bundelkhand. Then came the Mauryan period. I think you know that Mauryan period is very important in the history of our country because it was the time when there was a large political unification. A large part of the country was ruled by Mauryan Empire, and certainly Chhattisgarh also became a little bit in the part of Mauryan Empire. So we do get evidences of this Mauryan Empire from Chhattisgarh also. Now since I am focusing specially on Chhattisgarh, so I will not talk about Mauryan Empire in detail as such, but you need to know that Chhattisgarh also has evidences from this particular period. What evidences we get is, we get the coins during the Mauryan period. The Mauryan period, the coins which were used has been found from Akaltara. Akaltara is basically in the Bilaspur district. Then there is Thatari, which is in Janjgir Chapa. Then there is Baragaon in the Raigad district. So from all of these places, we get the evidences of the coins. Okay. Then we also get the description from the travelogue of Huensang. I told you that Huensang visited in the 639 BC. And in his travelogue, which is known as C.U.K., there is this description of a Mauryan period in Chhattisgarh. We have inscription also from the caves of Jogimara and Sita Bengra, which is in Sarguja district. We get the inscription of Ashoka. Whose inscription? We get the inscription of the king Ashoka, which is written in Pali language, and the script is Brahmi. Okay. Please remember, this Sita Bengara is considered to be the oldest theater. ठीक है, oldest theater of the world. So this is very important for you to know that this Sita Bengara is considered to be the oldest theater of the world. We also have found rock painting here in the Jogimara cave of Ramgarh mountain, which depicts the love story of Devdasi Sutnuka and dancer Devdat. This has also been asked a couple of times in your examination, so you need to remember this. Okay. Now, according to this travelogue CUK, it is said that Ashoka, the Empire Ashoka, has actually built a stupa in Sita Bengara for Buddhism or for Buddha. Okay, so we can also find this evidence, and this is being given in the travelogue of Wen Sang. So these are the evidences which shows us that Mauryan period or the Mauryan Empire had its presence in Chhattisgarh. It is said that when Ashoka went for his southern campaign, he actually came to Chhattisgarh and made all of these things. Okay. After the end of this Mauryan period, there was, the political integrity of India disappeared and many kingdoms came up at that time. And basically, there were the Brahmin dynasty or kingdoms that came up, and one among them who made their presence in Chhattisgarh also is known as the Satvahana dynasty. Okay. Their capital was Pratishthan, Maharashtra. Basically, we understand that this Pratishthan is a place called Nasik. Now it is Nasik. So earlier, I think Nasik probably was the place as Pratishthan being their base or the capital. We do find many evidences of Satvahana dynasty in Chhattisgarh also, like coins. We have from Malhar, Bilaspur, Balpur, Janjgir, Chapa, Chakarbeda, Bilaspur. We have rock inscription, that is the description of one of the king of Satvahana, that is Kumar Vardachri, is found from Gunji, which is in Janjgir, Chapa. There is a wooden pillar of this Satvahana dynasty being found from Kirari village of Janjgir, Chapa. Architecture. See, it is said that for the philosopher Nagarjuna, there was a 5-story splendid monastery was constructed by some Satvahana king. Okay. And then there was also a quadrangular statue being derived from Bilaspur. Buddhi Karka, it is said that this belonged to the Satvahana dynasty. So this is overall that you get from the Satvahana dynasty or say the Satvahana period. After the Satvahana came the Kushan and Megh dynasty. Although we do not find many of the evidences from this dynasty in Chhattisgarh, but still there is certain things that you are supposed to know. As far as this Kushan dynasty is concerned, we get the copper coins of Kushan from Bilaspur and then gold coins from Telikot, Raigarh. I hope you know that Kushan were the ones who issued gold coins in larger numbers, and some of their gold coins are being found from Telikot, Raigarh. Megh dynasty, as such, we do not find any coins or inscription or anything of that sort. But yes, we do find the description of some of the rulers, Shiveg and Yameg. It is being found from Chhattisgarh. It is said like that. And what is found is not known actually. And then came very important Vakataka dynasty. Now here you will also see about the rulers. So far now we have only seen the evidences because we do not find much about the rulers of that period. But now we are going to see rulers from Vakataka dynasty who have been there, important ones. This Vakatak dynasty had their capital in Nandivardhan, that is currently Nagpur. Okay. Now as far as the important rulers are concerned, the first one is the Mahendra Sen. According to the Prayag Prahasti of Hari Sen, this is an evidence. Please remember that there is this inscription of Prayag Prahasti. It is said that the Gupta ruler Samudragupta defeated this Vakataka king Mahendra Sen. He was the king of South Kaushal, the Vakataka dynasty, and Samudragupta also defeated this Mahakantar king Vyagraj in his southern victory campaign. So please remember, this has been a battle between Mahendra Sen and Samudragupta, in which Samudragupta defeated Mahendra Sen, and it has been described in the Prayag Prahasti of Hari Sen. Okay. Then Rudra Sen. important about him to know is that he married Prabhavati. Now, who is this Prabhavati? Basically, this Prabhavati is the daughter of Chandragupta II. This Chandragupta II is the ruler of Gupta dynasty. We will also see Gupta dynasty a little later. So, Chandragupta II belongs to Gupta dynasty. Even this Samudragupta belonged to Gupta dynasty. Through this, you can understand that this Vakataka and Gupta were the contemporary dynasties in that period. So, Rudra Sen was married to Prabhavati, who is the daughter of Chandragupta II. Now, Pravar Sen is a little important king. You get to know that the great poet Kalidas visited to this court of Pravar Sen. During his visit in Chhattisgarh, it is said that Kalidas composed Meghdutam in the Ramgarh Hills, which is in Sarguja district of Chhattisgarh. Okay. Sarguja he called as gateway to heaven. Please remember that Meghdutam has been written by Kalidas, and Kalidas visited Chhattisgarh during the time of Vakataka king Pravar Sen, and it is said that he composed this Meghdutam in the Ramgarh hills of Sarguja district, and he also called Sarguja as gateway to heaven. Important thing to remember here is that this Meghdutam of Kalidas has been translated in Chhattisgarh by Mukutdhar Pandey. It is being asked a lot of times. So, this Meghdutam has been translated in the Chhattisgarhi language by Mukutdhar Pandey. Then came Narendra Sen. According to Riddhipur inscription, Nal king Bhavdat Varman defeated Narendra Sen. So again we get to see there is one more contemporary dynasty of Vakataka apart from Gupta, and that is the Nal dynasty, because one of the Nal king, that is Bhavdat Varman, defeated the Vakataka king Narendra Sen. Then there is Prithvi Sen. It is said that Prithvi Sen took the revenge of his, the defeat of Narendra Sen, and in this thing, what he did is, according to Kesari Beda inscription, Prithvi Sen II defeated Nal king Arthapati Bhatrak. This is Prithvi Sen II actually. 2 has not been written here. This is Prithvi Sen II. So, it is said that Prithvi Sen II defeated Nal king Arthapati Bhatrak. Okay. And then there is Hari Sen, again one of the important king. The king of Vats Gulam visited or basically resided for the last time when this Vakataka dynasty was on the verge of decline or say end. This Vats Gulam basically is a branch of Vakataka. They used to reside at the bank of Godavari, and they ruled in Chhattisgarh during the last time when Vakataka dynasty was on the verge of end. Okay? It was during the time period of Hari Sen, King Hari Sen. Yes, we do get certain evidences from here also. There is a Pune inscription of Prabhavati. I hope you remember Prabhavati is the daughter of Chandragupta II who was married to Rudra Sen, and as per this inscription we get to see that the Vakataka rulers accepted the supremacy of Guptas. Okay? They accepted the supremacy of Guptas because in the beginning only King Mahendra Sen was defeated by the Gupta king Samudragupta. So since then they have been accepting the Gupta dynasty. The title that the Vakataka king took is the Maharaj. The Gupta king were known as Maharaj Adhiraj. Okay. And here I have mentioned the contemporary dynasty of Vakataka were Gupta and Nal dynasty. Please also remember in history that you have to understand which were the contemporary dynasties in order to see the battle between the two. Then came the Gupta period. I think you know that Gupta period has been the golden period in terms of art and architecture in India, because after Mauryan Empire, it was the Gupta Empire which brought the political unification again in India, and it was into the larger region. It came under the Gupta, and hence Chhattisgarh also has got evidences of this period. Central Chhattisgarh at that time was known as Dakshin Path. Okay, during the Gupta period, it was known as Dakshin Path. Dandyakaran was known as Mahakantar. Dandyakaran is basically the Bastar division. where you have Kondagaon, Kanker, Sukma, Dantewada, Bijapur, Narayanpur, Bastar. These are the district of Bastar division, and that is known as Dandekaran area. And during the Gupta period, it was known as Mahakantar. And I hope you remember that Samudragupta defeated one of the Mahakantar king, Vyagraj. And this is that Mahakantar king, belonging to Dandekaran area. Okay. Source we get is from Prayag Prahasti of Harisen. In the beginning only I have told you a lot of things came to know about this Gupta Empire in Chhattisgarh is from this Prayag Prahasti. Again we have coins, because of course we are based on the archaeological sources. Our information are based from the archaeological sources. So coins have been found from Banbarad Durg and Pritawald from Raipur. And there is an archery coin which is found from Kharsia of Raigad district, and it is said that this coin is of Vikramaditya. Now there are important rulers of Gupta period which you should know. The most important ruler among them is Samudragupta. In the beginning only I have told you. In the Prayag Prahasti it is mentioned that Samudragupta during his southern victory campaign has defeated Vakataka king Mahendra Sen and Mahakantar king Vyagraj. Please remember Dandekaran area was known as Mahakantar during the time of Gupta period. Now also evidence of Rupa Devi who is the wife of Samudragupta is being found from Kopra village Mahasamud. That means it might have happened that Rupa Devi might have spent some of the time here at this place Mahasamud, Kopra village. After the victory of Dakshin Kaushal and Mahakantar, in which Samudragupta defeated these two kings, he did not merge this area into Gupta Empire under his Grahan Moksha Anugrah policy. So basically, in spite of the fact that he won the battle, but he did not included this particular area of Vakataka and Mahakantar into his region. So they ruled from their own regions. Second king is the Ramgupta. Certain coins, I told you the coins of Gupta period has been found from Banbarad of Durg. It is the coin of Ram Gupta that has been found from this area. Okay. Chandragupta too, we know that his daughter Prabhavati was married to Rudrasen, a Vakataka king. That is what we are trying to know here. So after Chandragupta too, we get the evidences of the king Kumargupta. And what evidence we get here is gem-studded Mayur coin has been found from Arang, and it is being said that it belongs to Kumargupta, one of the ruler of Gupta dynasty. Then we have Bhanugupta, and it is said that in the Iran pillar inscription or script of Bhanugupta, we find the mention of King Sharabraj. Now this King Sharabraj is basically the founder of Sharapuriya dynasty. In the later videos, I will bring regional dynasties of Chhattisgarh for you, and there we will see one of the dynasty, that is the Sharapuriya dynasty, and King Sharabraj is from that dynasty. So his mention has been found in the script of Bhanugupta. So it is said that yes, Gupta ruled Chhattisgarh during this period, or you can say Gupta Empire had Chhattisgarh in its range. There are some important sites of Gupta period in Chhattisgarh like Vishnu Temple of Talagaon and Kwetin Temple of Baramkela. That is basically Pujari Pali. Kwetin Temple we call it. Please remember that the temples of Gupta period, I think you know, has been made in the Nagara style of art. There are temple style like Nagara, Dravida and Vaisara. Nagara style belong to the northern side of India. Dravida is the southern side and Vaisara is the mix of both of the two. So these temples of Gupta period have been built in red brick, and I have already mentioned that this Gupta period is considered to be the golden age in terms of art and architecture in India. Now, I am not telling you in detail about Gupta Empire and these rulers, what else they have done, for the very simple reason that I am focusing on the ancient history of Chhattisgarh, not India. So I am just focusing on what all you got evidences in Chhattisgarh regarding that period. So this is all about the ancient Chhattisgarh right from prehistoric age till the Gupta period. And then we have certain regional dynasties as well, of which we saw the mention like here. Sharapuriya dynasty, we have Mahakantar dynasty, the Mahakantar king. So all of these we will be studying in different separate part, where I will be discussing specifically on the regional dynasties of Chhattisgarh, because that is something specifically mentioned in your syllabus, and questions every time has been asked from there. So until then, take care, keep watching, and then I remind you again that please download the app of Purvanchal IAS. Just sit at home and be with us. Carry on your preparation. Thank you so much.